on the Wado Radio Show.
Of course, it's DJ Wado. It's the Wado Radio Show. It's more than music. It's ministry. And, man, we got the homie. Got an album. Actually, when you are listening to this, the album will be out, man. But he used to go by Black Knight. He's Brvndon P now, man. He's on the line with us, man. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? I'm all good.
Hey, I promise you, that's the last time I say Black Knight in this interview, man.
You said that the last time.
I know, but I'm gonna stick to it this time, man.
Like I told you, it's all good, man. I still got friends on there. Like, for real, it is all good. Like, I'm not totally done with that. I'm still using the tag, so
sure,
I ain't done with it.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. I think there's a lot of anticipation for your album, brother.
Yeah. And I think it looks like it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that anticipation turns into sales.
Sure.
Because people can be excited about it all they want.
Yeah.
But if they don't buy it, ain't nobody excited about it.
It's interesting, man. I saw Andy put this on his Twitter, and I've seen a lot of artists putting this on their Twitters recently. Just how do people consume music? And they doing a poll, and it's like every time I see one of those polls, it's more and more Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. Like the streaming situation just seems to keep growing.
Yeah. And I think the thing about that is that it's just like when iTunes first came out. It kind of took away from the actual physical sales, and now the sales is actually on streaming. But I think I kind of had like a question about this when we was doing my album. I'm like, well, can we not do streaming because it'll take away from the sales of the actual, the sales of the actual album? They told me every stream counts as a sale. It's, vocal streams count as your album charting.
Yep.
If you want your album, then it's like, all right, you got to get 3,000 streams for one album.
Yep.
Or it's a chart on Billboard.
Yep.
Which is where that comes in at. So I was like, oh, okay, I kind of understand it now. So,
Yeah, one of the things, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. One of the things that's a challenge, though, for independent artists, and you're not quote unquote independent, I guess, because you did, kind of sign with a label situation. But for indie artists, just in general, one of the things that you used to be able to bet on was TuneCore, because streaming wasn't as big. You made more money from your physical album sales, So it's like you getting $7 an album, and even if you sell 3,000-4,000 records, that's a nice little chunk along with your show money to kind of support you. And now it's like that business model is totally different.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like, oof. It's kind of a way you gotta like try to figure out how to make it work for you. For you. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, like I based off of like, let me take what they're doing and readjust it to me.
Sure.
And it's the same thing but different, because it's not just you. It's literally everybody. The majority of the people like transferring over to this side. So it's like, all right, how do you make it work? So it's like I've had different conversations with a lot of different artists about like different ideas. Like, I heard artists just, say, hey, stream our album on Spotify only, and then we'll tour for free. I'm like, they got, they got a whole bunch of streams, and they paid for their tour. So they didn't have to pay. It was a free ticket.
Nice.
It was a free tour, and so that paid for their tour. And I'm like, that's probably a way that I can do it next time, So
sure.
It's different ways that you can go about it.
That's a great idea right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you summed it up though. It's like everybody's got to kind of do what's best for them, man. And I remember, man, we did a show earlier this year, and you were kind of talking through some of these situations that you had, and it seemed like your current just business situation with your management company and all of that, man, is really what's best for you at this time.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I've lacked over the years was actually having a team behind me, pushing and believing, you know, in what I'm doing, taking my ideas, my crazy ideas that I have, and like having the access to be able to do all these things. It's like I could have done it by myself, but it would have taken me a longer time, and it would have taken me a lot more work, effort, and all this. And I think this amazing opportunity to partner up with Adam Factor management is like they're connected to so many people, and so it's like now it's like I'm connected to all these companies that they're connected to because I'm affiliated. It's like I don't really have to do no work. It's like, you know, they got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So they hooked me up with GoPro. It's like GoPro's on board. They're sponsoring me. They sponsored the tour, so they sent me out of like some stuff. Shout out to GoPro. And then they're gonna post it. So it's like all these different things. I'm like, wow, I could have done this on my own. And so I always wanted a team behind me. It's just finding the right team, you know. So God finally opened the door to make that happen. And you know, it took some time to get through the process of like trying to figure out, all right, this is the best option for it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about what's next. So yeah,
Man, that's killer, bro. And I felt like, you know, one of the things that's happened is people have had time to even get used to. I don't want to say. I guess it is a new brand because you are changing your name, but just the new direction that you're headed into.
yeah. And it's taken a while for some people to like, all right, get the notion of, all right, he's just a drummer, he's just a producer. He kind of makes songs on the side to actually like legit being an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it took me some growing in that area too as well to actually believe that I could do it. And that was the reason, one of the reasons why I kind of waited off on dropping this project, because it's like I didn't have a lot riding on it, but personally, it's like I had a lot riding on it because it's like I want to prove to people like, yo, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
And so, you know, amongst other things, it's the reason why the album's coming out now. It's like, all right, I'm finally, you know, sold on, like, all right, this is a piece of work that I definitely want to put out. And it goes to, you know, other artists, like what we were talking about before, is like just putting out music just to put out music.
Sure.
Like, you know, I don't ever want to, like, you know, I got tired of Future dropping projects left or right. I'm like, that ain't really doing nothing yet. I get people excited for the moment, but ain't nobody gonna listen to it in 2 weeks. I don't want that to happen with this. But yeah, so I think this project would definitely get people's mind frames out of like, all right, he's just this or he's just that. So, yeah.
Well, man, one of the things that I kind of, I guess, notice about you and always respected about you is like you have this, man, you have like an amazing ear for music. You know what I mean? Like just as a producer and then even as the beats that you choose. And while you were working on this project, bro, like how hard was it for you to kind of step back and not necessarily be the guy to produce all the music? Because that's really, I mean, if we're honest, like that's who you've been, like pretty much the entire time we've known you. It's like, yo, if it's Black Knight, you know he produced it, and
yeah,
you know,
and that wide range of music came from my dad, because like he's been in music too, and I've been in church my whole life, and like church is the number one source of like you can get all different type of genres in the black church. You know what I'm saying? Not just gospel, but you get rock. You know what I'm saying? You get that soulful. You get, you know, classical sometimes.
Yeah.
It's all different genres, like just wrapped up in gospel. And so it's like basically growing up in that helped me like in the production aspect of it. So it's like I could go to different areas and pull from different things just based off of my background. It's like I didn't have to learn how to play this. I didn't have to learn how to manipulate this or find this. It's like if I heard a sound, I knew exactly where to get it because I know where everything is. And so when it came to this project, it's like that's one reason why. Another reason why it took me so long to put this out, because I was constantly changing it. Like, I listened to the project. My sister had the original project, and I listened to that, and I listened to the new one. I'm like, wow, it's
night and day, right?
So much, yeah. It's black and white. Like, it's so much better. And so I definitely had to be confident in the fact that, all right, I gotta let, I should let somebody else get a piece of work in it, and who else but no other than Casey, like our RPS team member. So, it wasn't like, forceful or anything. He sent me something, and it just flowed right into it. So I have no problem. Actually, I have no problem rapping on other people's beats. Like, if I feel like I can do that, it's like, well, I can go and make it myself. But if it's something that I really like, you know what, this is dope. I don't want to, like, try to make something, quote-unquote, like it or whatever. It's like, I believe in this person. It's like, I'm going to go with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened with Casey. He's like, he sent me some stuff, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And it flowed on it. And then I released some stuff on SoundCloud that other people produced, too. So it's like I'm kind of getting out of, like, I have to produce everything myself because it just, it gets kind of straining. It's like you got to put time and effort producing, and then you got to write it and make all the songs come together. It's a lot that goes into it. Yeah, so I'm kind of getting out of the mind frame of, like, I have to produce every single thing. Now, I still produce the majority of it.
Right.
So he only, Cage only did 2 tracks on the album, and I did the rest. So it's like I always want to make sure I get my vocal sound on it. So yeah.
I respect that. Dr. Dre or Kanye West? Or DJ Quick?
Ooh, Kanye West.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Even as a West Coast guy?
Man, I that's what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, but I listen to a lot more Kanye.
Okay. You still there or I lose you?
I know West Coast people probably gonna fire on it.
They gonna fire on you, bro.
Dr. Dre is still up there though. Like, people get mad at me. Like, Michigan gets mad at me because I listen to Dr. Dre. He's like, yo, Dr. Dre he's kind of whack. I'm like, no, you're wildin'. Like, come on now. So, it's not like I don't listen to him at all.
I feel you. I'll say this though, bro. I feel like your career arc is definitely at this point very similar to Kanye West. Because remember in the beginning he was just the producer.
Right.
He was just producing for Jay-Z and Rockefeller, and then College Dropout came out, and it was like, wow, this guy's like amazing.
Yeah. Wow, I appreciate that.
I'm not saying you about to be the next Kanye West. I'm not trying to.
I know. I know that, but it's like that's what I've heard. That I've heard something else. I've heard, like, somebody saying that this album could be my Good Kid, Mad City was to Kinkit. Now I was like, oof, like, I don't know, but that does sound good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where do you draw your inspiration from content wise? I know musically, obviously, growing up in the church, being around all those different sounds as you mentioned, but even just your content, man, like where does your inspiration at this space in your life? Where do you draw that from?
Yeah, it started from, like, in the Black Knight days, just making whatever pops in my head. You know what I'm saying? Fun, young. I still am young. But young music, party type of music. So it's like, yo, let's just have a good time. I ain't got no worries. But now it's like, I'm actually going through life. And so, it's like I actually think about what I'm about to write about now, which is crazy. But it's like I actually pull from like life, like from this album. It's like I actually pull from life situations and different conversations that I have with people. Like how it feels is a conversation that I had with my mom.
Wow.
And I just wrote it, as if I'm just talking to myself. But it's like me talking to my mom. And then Soul Cry is me talking to my dad. So it's like different conversations are actually being pulled into this album. And so that's now what I want to do, because I realize having that surface music is okay, but it's like you really want to change people's hearts and help people out. Like you got to share your own life experiences. You got to be vulnerable to people, and people like real. Like they most relate to real. So
that's good,
and that's the premise of this album. Is like this is real.
Yeah. How do you I know a lot of people, man, when they see like a Christian artist sign with a quote unquote secular or mainstream company like you did with Adam Factory, they'll look at that and they'll say, oh man, this person's got to water it down, or they got to compromise in some way, or they got to do this or they got to do that. How do you balance like the faith side of you with obviously this new business situation that you're in?
Well, one thing that I'll definitely say is that they definitely understand me, and they respect me and what I believe in, and everything like that, which is the number one thing.
That's killer.
And I actually know the person who I'm affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been in my family like for a couple of years now. So it's like I know them. We kind of have a relationship. I know they're not like, what I'm saying, some whatever you want to call it. And that was one thing. And another thing is like they actually, the owner of the company said, hey, like a lot of people get it like, yeah, they believe in the music, but they're not going to protect it. And he was like, yo, Adam Factory is going to protect your integrity. We're going to protect your music. And I was like, wow, that's super huge. And so that was one thing. And so it's like now I really, like it's a balance game between like, all right, I have the opportunity to go off and venture and do this side of things. It's like, well, it's like I can't really do that because I don't want to, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, say leave this side, I guess. So I guess it's being strategic about what you want to do, in particular to, the shows you want to do, the places you want to hit, the type of music you want to do, the people you work with, and all that type of stuff. It's really being strategic with it. So, and that's the main thing. It's like I've always wanted to, do stuff outside of the Christian market. And I'm not saying it's mainstream, but just like go some places outside of it, and venture off and like kind of bring other entities inside of the Christian market and see like, yo, like, we're here. I guess if you want to say it like that.
No, that's real, bro. Let me ask you this. Just on a funny note, how big was it for you to get E40 on that record, bro?
It was huge, actually. It was actually my dad's idea to get him on the song.
Really?
Which is crazy. Like, you met my dad.
Yeah, that's all. I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
My dad. Yeah, it was actually
Mr.
like,
Peavy, if you're listening, Mr. Peavy, if you're listening, I would not guess that you would have suggested that combo. Man.
He did. Like, I was working on the song, and he came in, like, he just busted through the door. I was like, Dad, I'm working. Like, he was like, hold on. And I was getting mad. I was like, I'm working. And so he was like, you know, you used to get on the song? I was like, who, Dad? He's like, E40. Like, he said it mad hype. I was like, how am I supposed to do that? He was like, well, this, and he spelled it all out. And I was like, that's kind of accessible. And so we tried it, and it happened. You know what I'm saying? He ended up, like, liking the song, loving the song. And then he was like, yo, come to my house. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, and then my cousin was like, yo, that's great because nobody goes to his house. Like, he doesn't really let anybody go to his house. Like, my dad wasn't even able to go to his house. Like, I had to go with myself.
Wow.
And so it's like pulling up to his house. I'm like, wait, I'm going to E40's house. Like, I used to grow up listening to him. And it's like, it was kind of surreal. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
insane.
So yeah. So it was dope. It was dope. And actually, a feature that almost made the album but didn't. It was like I was supposed to get Ty Dolla $ign on it too, on the song, and I was like, dang, but it didn't make it in time. So hopefully the next album we'll get something from him.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
But yeah.
E40 is like a Bay legend, bro.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, people that's not from the Bay or from the West Coast is like, they don't understand. You know, they don't understand. Like, I see people commenting about the E40, like when he featured on E40, the Lecrae track. You know, people commenting, you know, this and that and the other. Oh, like, you know, why did you get him on there? I'm like, okay, well, they don't really know. they don't know at all. So people in the West Coast is like, yo, that's fresh. You get like a legend, you know, on it.
Yeah, and not even
just now, like,
I was gonna say, not even just. He's not even just like, cause some people throw like the word legend around because it's like he's an old school artist, but E40 is like
he's still relevant.
But he's the trendsetter for so much stuff though. Like honestly, there's so many trends even when I was in high school, bro. Like that he was setting that he didn't even get credit for because other people just made it bigger than how he did it. But it was like, yo, man, this dude was like, you know, slang and, you know, all of that stuff. Like people, like, listen, people think if you say for shizzle, people think Snoop Dogg, but that's E40 though. Like,
right.
So, yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Learn your history.
Yeah, it's I know, man. For me personally, bro, like I've always wrestled with the Christian artists, secular artists collabos for different reasons. And I feel like sometimes, man, it's like certain situations I'm like, man, how do you say no to that though? Like if an opportunity presents itself, just because you don't know what comes of these situations, man. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's the premise of it. It wasn't just a random thing either. It's like I didn't know that he was affiliated with my family. Like my cousin is like his best friend.
Wow.
So it's like, wow. It's like I'm actually having into him. Him and my dad lived in the same area when they was younger. Like my dad knew his sister when they lived in Vallejo and the Crest. I'm like, wait. It's deeper than just like, you know, me just doing a song with him. Like we actually have history. You know what I'm saying? To come to think of it. And so it's like, yo, he believes in the music, I believe in the music. And so it just wound up being a good heart. And he's an all around good dude. Like me sitting around with him, he's a great dude, you know.
I'm sure he's got some crazy stories too though.
Yeah. We sat there, we was in the studio for like 6-7 hours. And yeah, I got to hear some stories. So, yeah.
Okay, so craziest tour story for you this last uncomfortable tour run?
Oh, man, Gavi probably gonna get mad at me for this. So we was all asleep in the bus, all asleep. It's 4 a.m. It's like 3:50, 4 a.m. Out of nowhere, all you hear is like somebody banging on something, and then you hear, hey, 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 screaming super, like at the top of their lungs, super loud. And so I'm like,
And the bus is moving.
On?
The bus is moving?
So the bus is moving. The bus is moving. And so, it's Gavi screaming, hey, 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 super loud. And so Propaganda, which is the bunk right up above him, and then there's DJ Effecto underneath him. So he's in the middle. So he's hitting on the top on Propaganda's bunk. So Propaganda automatically wakes up.
Wow.
And so he's like, he wakes up and he's trying to grab Gavi, like, yo, stop. Like, what's going on? Like, you're about to knock me out of my bed. He was hitting that so hard. And so DJ Effecto's like, yo, he's like tapping the top of Gavi. He's like, yo, calm down. And so Propaganda finally gets out of the bunk. And then they open up Gavi's curtain, and then Andy comes out of his bunk. And so, I guess he finally snaps out of it. He's like, wow, that was crazy.
Well, he had a bad dream?
I guess.
Oh, man, bro. I at first when you were telling this, I'm thinking the hook is going to be he was making a song and woke everybody up or something like that.
No, but it was hilarious though, because
Bro.
it was like you just had to be there. Like his hair was all crazy, he was like, "Yo, that was crazy." That was his response. It was like, "Yo, that was crazy, yo." I was like, "Do you not know that you woke everybody up on the bus?" And so that was a joke. The whole tour was like, "Hey, hey, hey!"
Oh man!
And so that was a crazy night because it's like, and then I woke up and I opened my curtain, and then I saw that Propaganda and Andy had him, so I just closed my curtain again and didn't even worry about it.
Man, bro.
And so words played. He didn't wake up. I don't know why. Him and Gavi are like best friends, so. He didn't wake up, and we was like, "Yo, you didn't wake up. Your best friend, was going through a life altering occasion, and you didn't wake up."
He said, "Life altering." Oh, that's crazy.
That was a crazy moment. This last tour was a great run because it just felt like a big hangout, It wasn't no drama. It was just a group of friends just hanging out, which was always, you hear about tours. It's like, this person got into a fight, or this person is mad at this person for 2 weeks, and it just messed up the whole vibe. It's like, we honestly didn't have none of that. I'd never heard of anybody, being mad at somebody. If there was, they worked it out quick, and we all just laughed and had a good time.
Wow.
And so, unfortunately, that was the last tour of the A-Team. So, last show was definitely a heartbreaking experience.
That had to be bittersweet, man, to have that much harmony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Like, people took that to heart when we posted it online. I was like, dang. But it really is, like, being with them for the last 4/5 years was a tremendous, like, experience. It was like, being on the road, it's like Dre, he's like my dad on the road. It's like on our off days, we literally have a routine of going to the movies. Like, that's it. Going to the movies and watching a whole bunch of movies for our day off. You know what I'm saying? And so that was great. And then, obviously Andy is a good hang. It's just, I tend to grow a lot more when I'm on the road because I'm around brothers constantly, so it's like, it was definitely bittersweet. It was like, I'm leaving something, but yet, got some stuff in the future.
That's what's up. And who knows, man? Y'all might link back up, man. That might not be the end of it, man.
I might do a reunion tour.
I'm saying, bro, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Who knows? Who knows what happens in the future?
Yeah. But you had like double duty on this tour though, because you opened it up and playing.
Yeah. So, reason for it was great. Got the opportunity to open up. Had a small little set at the beginning of time, but it was to basically build momentum for the album itself, and get people excited about it again. It's because I've been saying like Brvndon P is coming for the last year and a half, and people got tired of that. So I'm like, all right, what's another way to build the momentum back up leading up to the album? And what way to do it is, to get on stage and perform a song or two. And Andy let me do it. Shout out to him. And made that joint happen, and it rocked. Like people, I was surprised that like I got some suites and it was just like not some suites, but a lot of suites. It was just like, yo, you had the best opening set. I was like, wait, I only had 8 minutes. But it goes to prove, like, you can do a lot in 8 minutes.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You can make your mark in 8 minutes.
Absolutely.
You can do a whole lot much in 8 minutes and completely ruin your career in 30. So,
Oh, man. That's good, man.
Yeah.
I want you to do something real quick, bro. Because we got a lot of artists that listen to this show, especially when someone like yourself is on, because they want to learn from you, man. And I think one of the things that you are really, really, really good at is putting your set together. And just give some artists some pointers, man, because I feel like that's one of the biggest things that even in 2016 that I still see lacking in the community is the ability for artists to know which songs to perform in front of which crowds and what order to put those songs in, man.
Right. I think a lot of that goes into, a lot of it goes into artists, none in particular. Like now we live in a social digital media type of world.
Sure.
And so, they start off just doing music inside their room and they don't leave their room.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they do a show. It's like, you never really went to a concert to see how, see this and this and that and the other.
Yep.
It's like me, when I started in this thing, it's like, I started going to a whole bunch of concerts to see what worked, see what didn't, and I owe a lot of that to Transparent. Like, for real. Like, me watching him perform and how he works the crowd and stuff like that. He's a beast live,
bro.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he is. And so, like, a lot of that, I took that and applied it to myself.
Well, you got to call him the White Taylor now, man. The White Taylor.
Yeah.
Not Transparent, man. The White
My
Taylor.
My bad. Brother. The White Taylor. He's still transparent to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you still call it Transparent.
Of course. You know I do.
You still call me Black Knight. It's all good.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely think like going to concerts and investing. If like you want to be a performer, you got to invest in that. It's just like you invest in studio equipment and music production stuff and studio time. It's like you got to invest in that because it's like artists ain't getting paid from CD sales anymore. It's like it's a live show.
Yep.
You got to learn how to perform, and so just going and looking at what works and looking at what moves the crowd, and especially the music. Like, just because, like, all right, like, I understand if your hottest song is a mellow song, I get it. Do it. But if it's not, like, and if nobody knows you, it's like you got to make your best impression. And doing high energy that moves the crowd type of music is what is going to, you know what I'm saying, be like, oh, yo, he's dope. You know what I'm saying? And so it's and knowing the crowd, it's like, all right. When we did the show in North Carolina, I was like, all right, how can I play this right? So we got, you know, some ratchet teenagers, we got parents, we got pastors.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I think I got a song for everybody, like that everybody can jam out to. And so it was like, all right, it may not be one particular song, but if you got 3 songs that cover all areas, it's like, that's what you kind of want to do. And so, you know, venturing off, and if you go to a mainstream festival, it's like, all right, well, what can I do from the set? And definitely not doing a 4 or 5 minute song. X that out.
Man, bro.
X'd out,
bro,
like, yo,
you need to repeat
let's do a
that,
4 or
son.
5 minute song.
You need to repeat that, bro. Repeat, like, 4 or 5 minute songs, man, don't work, bro.
It do not work because people's attention spans are so short.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
It's like
3 minutes
especially
tops.
if it's a like 4 or 5 minute songs do not work in a concert at all. You know, unless you putting 3 songs together that matches 5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. But doing a full song that, like, the same beat, same everything, does not work. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. Unless you're like Taylor Swift or something like that, and people going to sit there and watch you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work, you know, because people get tired. You know, people's attention spans, just hate to say it, you know, that quick.
Bro, people used to 10-second Snapchats, and Instagram just expanded to a minute, but still, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you got to grab people quick, man. You know, and if it's a 5 minute song, unless it's like the biggest hit song in the world, you know,
right?
Not working.
Yep, you gotta make some edits, and you gotta make some changes. You be creative with it, and just be an all around great performer. Cause like you could take a simple song, but if your performance is dope, you know what I'm saying, and you make it believable, you know, you got it. You got the crowd. People gonna believe in you, not the music.
Yeah,
so yeah.
That's good, bro. That's good, man. So, can we see a Brvndon P tour coming soon? Are you hopping on a tour this year coming soon?
Man, so right now we're working on that right now. Hopefully soon we get a tour popping. We got some festivals lined up soon. But I'm hoping for the tour. Like, I'm all down for it. Like, we need to make that happen ASAP. So if you're listening and you want to book the tour, hit me up, because we open.
That's what it is.
Open for business.
That's good money.
So
bro.
yeah, but we planning on it, man. Like, that's one of my goals. Like, every year I make goals for how I want my year to turn out. And so that's definitely one of my goals. And another one of my goals is to buy a new car. And I did that 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And so, yeah, man, it's like every year, it's like make goals, write it down. Don't just say it. Write it down, put it in front of you, speak it every single day. And you know, it's bound to happen. You know
man, what was your joint? You had a goal with Andy, bro. You put it on Facebook one day, bro.
A goal with Andy?
Bro, it was before. Then you have a picture on Facebook where you were at an Andy concert and you said, "Yo, I want to be."
Oh yeah. So, it was actually the Rock and Roll Show tour in 2012.
Yes.
I saw Lecrae on stage.
Okay.
And so, you know, I took a picture on Facebook, put it on Facebook, and I said, you know, one day I'll be on that stage. 2 years later, I ended up on the same stage, the same tour, in the same arena, you know, on the same tour. And that just goes to show, like, yo, when you speak something, and if it's actually a goal, it's like, yo, you, no matter what, like, you're going to work toward it. It may take some time. It may not happen in like a week or two, but it's bound to happen. If you put work and you believe and have faith in yourself. So, I always say that there's no limits, and like since that, like I always believe that there's no limits at all. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is impossible if you believe and have faith and with Christ.
Man, that's powerful right there, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Brvndon, happy for you, brother. Happy to see your growth. You know, I tell you this every time we talk, man. And man, I can't wait to see how your project does, man, and what else God has in store for you, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Yo, y'all got to make sure y'all do a little review on it and be honest about it too.
Oh man, see that's real talk right there. Because most artists just want us to just say the album is amazing. You said be honest, bro. You know what I mean? And we'll be honest if it's amazing.
I want people to. I don't want yes people around me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I want people to be honest about the music, honest about the sound selection, and that's honestly like what I like about Andy because he's honest with like his music. Honest. I'll play some stuff and be like, "Yo, this is crazy." He'd be like, "Nah, B, like you should change this sound. You should change that." Like I'd be like, "It'll rock me, like for real." And I'd be like, "All right," and I do it, and it made it that much better. You know what I'm saying? I took the criticism. It may take me a month to get over the criticism and get out of my feelings about it, but hey, it still helps. So yeah, man, like I always want people to be honest about everything. So if you honestly say like, "Yo, this album's completely trash," I won't believe that, but hey, I might believe something.
Nah, that's
man. But no, appreciate you, man, for real. Like over the years, like you know what I'm saying, playing the music and everything. So appreciate it big time, for real.
Man, absolutely, bro. Well, man, he's Brvndon P. I'm DJ Wado, and make sure you support the homie.
Yeah, man. Cop it. It's out.
On the Wado Radio Show. On the Wado Radio. On the Wado Radio Show, where it's much more than music, it's ministry.